Hi everyone, this is Audio Amigo, and this is the Brainwavz M5. This is going to be a really quick review. This has been around for a while, so you might be able to find other things on it. This is what they call a headset. Really, I think it's more in-ear monitors with a built-in microphone in the cable. It's not really meant to be, I don't think, like a headset for gaming or anything like that. You might be able to use it for that purpose in a pinch, but we'll get to that. So anyway, this is the soft case that it comes in. It's actually, for a soft case, it's actually pretty firm, pretty durable. I actually like it quite a bit. If you open it up, you get the in-ear monitors themselves, a set of other tips, other silicone tips in various sizes. There is a clip that comes with it, and you can see right here that the clip basically has a little loop that you can run the cable through, and that lets you clip it to your shirt and keep the cable secured with the clip. It also comes with a pair of Comply foam tips, at least mine did. These are S400s. That'll give you an idea of the size type for the nozzle if you ever want to get replacements. I still haven't opened these, but I do have other Complies that I have and I've used these with. And it comes with some paperwork on the inside. So let's go ahead and put all this back because we don't really need it for the rest. So here are the M5s themselves. If I can untangle this crap. One of the reasons IEMs are a little bit more of a pain depending on their cable design. Now, this cable itself actually is kind of a rubbery feel. It's kind of bouncy and springy. I noticed while wearing this a few times that the cable on this would actually kind of bounce as I was walking and get caught on things on occasion, which was kind of a pain in the ass. Wasn't world breaking, but it could be kind of annoying. And the cable itself isn't the longest. It's supposed to be 4 feet, I think. Maybe even shorter. Let's see, this is about 1/4 the length. I just folded it twice over. So it's not the greatest in length. I think it barely reaches my head if I have my phone in my pocket or my MP3 player in my pocket. And I can't say that these are entirely remarkable. Now, right now on Amazon, these are going for about 20 bucks. I don't think they sound particularly bad. They're a little bit more bass emphasis. The mids are a tiny bit recessed. And the treble is kind of laid back. I would almost go so far as to say that it's a pretty quick roll off in the treble. That said, there is some splashiness with certain types of drums, especially if you don't get a very tight seal, which is kind of why getting the right size tips is important. That's true of most in-ear monitors, but it was to the point where it was so fatiguing I would have to either stop what I was doing, readjust the tips, or find some way to fix it, because it was... I'm treble sensitive, and it was kind of a problem for me. The stage on it is alright. You wouldn't expect much necessarily from a standard pair of in-ear monitors. These have a really small stage. I shouldn't say real small. They have a pretty small stage. And there is kind of an interesting echo in these that makes it sound like the stage is a little bit more airy and big. But I don't get that same sense with even higher-end headphones like Sennheiser HD6XXs in the songs. So it might just be some kind of, I don't know, imperfection in the sound, something kind of artificial. It actually isn't bad. That quality can be pretty interesting to listen to in some cases, but I don't think it's something that's necessarily faithful to the reproduction of the music, to put it more objectively. As far as imaging goes, left to right, not the greatest. It's something is either pretty much directly to your left, your right, or right in front of you. There's not a lot going on in between. Instrument separation is pretty poor. In terms of bass, there's a little bit of punch to the upper bass. It can make rock actually pretty engaging, but there's not a lot of extension in the sub-bass region, so if you're looking for something to really just kind of get your skull vibrating, this probably won't be the pair of in-ear monitors you're looking for. So comfort's really a hard thing to talk about. It's really going to depend on the shape of your ear and whether or not you can get a good fit, or whether or not you have some other pair of tips that you'll work with and can fit on these nozzles. The stock tips on these actually didn't bother me that badly. I mean, these are just plain old silicon tips. They have some with really slim nozzles, or I should say really slim kind of holes on the end. I actually found the wider ones to be a little bit better sounding, but that's just sort of my personal preference. The mic itself is actually alright. I will include a soundbite recording on this mic, just so you can hear what it sounds like. The recording was done on my phone, because I don't have any way really to get the mic output from this little scheme right here to work on like a standard soundboard or mic input on my computer. So just know that the recording was done on my phone. Now, as far as value goes, I'd say it's probably about par value. I mean, $20, there isn't a whole lot of quality you can expect for that price range. There are some options now that are coming out, like the Hi-Fi Man Bolt, that I think offer a better sound quality for the price, which is, I think, $10 now. But it doesn't have the microphone, so if you want to use it as a headset for your phone or your laptop, this would be the better option. You're just paying $10 basically for the mic and giving up some sound quality in exchange. So that's really up to you. I also think the cable on the Hi-Fi Man is better, but we'll get to that later. Now, one interesting side note about this is if you're using it straight from your phone, you can get it to decent volume. You don't need anything with a huge amount of power to get these going to a decent volume to listen to, and the sound quality is all right. I found, interestingly enough, though, that these actually sound a lot better out of like a proper headphone amp. I ran them out of my Aune X7S. I don't know how you say that name, but anyway, I ran these straight out of a headphone amp, and there was actually a pretty decent gain in sound quality. Nothing to make these sound better than their price value, but it was certainly better than I had experienced out of mobile devices, so that's something to think about. Other than that, I mean, there's really not too much to say about them. They are kind of I guess what you would call a reference pair of in-ear monitors. They are not spectacular for their price, but I don't feel like you're being cheated either, which is, I guess, about the most you can hope for on a blind purchase. I ended up getting these out of a Massdrop Blue Box, so for me it was just kind of, I didn't know what I was getting, and I'm not super upset that this is what came out of the box. Alright, well, that concludes this review, so thank you for listening, and if you liked the video, hit the like button, and hopefully I'll see you again. Check, 1, 2, 3. Check, 1, 2, 3. This should be an accurate representation of sound quality and volume based on the position of the mic on the collar of my shirt. Sound check, 1, 2, Plosives. Plosives. Peter sells seashells by the seashore. Or did Peter pick a pickled pepper? I don't really remember. But the point is, sound check. And this is the end of that demo.